Welcome once again to Lehto's Law. Here's Steve Lehto.
There's a really, really bad hotel in Thailand. You'd never want to stay there because there's a chance you went there and had a bad experience and then you complained about it on TripAdvisor, they'd have you arrested. Honest to goodness, that's what they do. So this story has been unfolding in the news for the last few weeks, and I was going to do a story about it before, but I thought, well, I have a feeling. I have a feeling something's going to end up happening that's being even funnier punchline on this. But Noah Manskar wrote the story for the Post, the New York Post, and that's where I found the story. TripAdvisor slaps warning label on Thai hotel that had guest arrested. Yes. So that's what happened. Someone stayed at a hotel, had a bad experience, wrote a bad review for it on TripAdvisor. The hotel called the local police because apparently in Thailand they've got rules on slander and libel and you can get people arrested for it. The guy got locked up, and then to get him out of jail, TripAdvisor and this guy both agreed to apologize, do a bunch of other stuff. Then the guy skedaddled from the country, as you want to do after you get out of a Thai jail. And now that he's out, TripAdvisor has actually posted a warning saying, yeah, you don't want to stay at this hotel. And now the hotel's really upset. They're really upset because can you imagine warning people that you might get arrested if you have a bad experience at a hotel that gives people bad experiences? TripAdvisor is warning potential visitors to a Thai hotel that they could face dire consequences for complaining too harshly about the experience, just like the guest who was thrown in jail over his negative reviews. The travel review platform slapped a special notice on its listing for the Sea View Resort and Spa in Koh Chang, Thailand. The Sea View Resort and Spa. Sea View is two words, S-E-A, second word V-I-E-W. Sea View Resort and Spa in Koh Chang, K-O-H, next word Chang, C-H-A-N-G. That's in Thailand, where an American visitor was arrested after he criticized the hotel online. I'm just going to tell you right now, it's a horrible hotel. It's horrible. It's a lousy hotel. Any hotel that would actually have one of its customers locked up and jailed for having a bad experience there is a bad hotel. Horrible hotel. It's America, I can say that. TripAdvisor said it took the unusual step to make sure other travelers knew about the Sea View's extraordinary action against the man, who was reportedly freed after reaching a settlement with the Oceanside Island Resort, which again is named the Sea View Resort and Spa in Koh Chang, Thailand. Most negative reviews posted are valuable customer service and learning experiences for businesses who choose to constructively engage the feedback. That's what TripAdvisor told the Post. However, TripAdvisor strongly opposes any action where a business like the Sea View Hotel and Spa in Koh Chang uses local law to send someone to jail for expressing their opinion. The Sea View Hotel and Spa had the man detained after he wrote several negative reviews on TripAdvisor and other sites, including one accusing the hotel of modern-day slavery. That's what was reported back in September. Now, the man works in Thailand, and he also reportedly got into a spat with the hotel staff over a corkage fee for alcohol that he had brought in. So he carried in his own alcohol. They say that's okay, but we still charge you for the pleasure of letting you drink your own stuff here. And apparently they had an argument over that. The hotel may have been exercising its legal rights under local law. However, it is our role to inform you so you may take this into consideration when researching your travel plans. So if you're going to go to Thailand, number one, simply don't stay at the Sea View Resort and Spa in Koh Chang, Thailand. Just don't stay there. Don't stay there. But if you do stay there, be aware of the fact that if you give them anything but a glowing review on TripAdvisor, they'll have you arrested and thrown in jail in Thailand. Now, I'm not sure why anybody would want to go to Thailand in the first place, knowing that you can be jailed for giving a bad review to somebody. But my first advice to you would be, number one, don't go to Thailand. But if you want to go to Thailand, don't stay at the Sea View Resort and Spa in Koh Chang. But if you want to live dangerously and you do those two things, wait until you leave the country before trashing them on TripAdvisor. And once you've left the country, just trash them on TripAdvisor, if that's appropriate for what they did to you while you were there, such as having you jailed. The Sea View did not immediately respond to a request for comment on Wednesday, but the hotel issued a statement to the New York Times accusing TripAdvisor of breaking its part of the settlement that was reached with the man. See, to get the man out of jail, TripAdvisor apparently had said something to the effect of, we'll make sure that these bad reviews go away. The resort agreed to drop the complaint, which would allow the man to get out of jail, if he apologized and convinced TripAdvisor not to place a so-called red badge on the hotel's listing, which could harm its business, according to the Times. TripAdvisor reportedly provided a letter making that pledge to get the guy out of jail. And to their credit, they then ignored their promise and went ahead and tagged the review. We fail to understand how TripAdvisor going back on their word and not being impartial is helpful to any of the parties involved in this case, the Seaview told the Times. Well, you have to understand Seaview Resort and Spa in Ko Chang. In America, people are not jailed for criticizing a bad business. And if you're going to jail people from other countries, you're going to understand you need a lot of bad feedback. A lot of bad feedback. I would never encourage people to give bad feedback. Never. But I would encourage people to speak their minds. But then again, this is America. TripAdvisor executive Bradford Young countered that it had not violated any terms of the letter, which it sent to the man to ensure his safety, the paper reported. So, I'm not a big fan of rating sites. I have people call me all the time and say, hey, Steve, we can help you get better Yelp reviews. And I'm like, I'm not a restaurant. I don't care. Well, my Yelp reviews? People go, but Steve, people review attorneys on Yelp. I said, I was unaware of that. I don't care. They go, but Steve, we can help you with your Google reviews. Wait, Google reviews stuff? I didn't know that. Well, no, Google's got a review site. I go, okay, I guess. I didn't know that. We can help you with that. Well, no. I didn't know it existed until you just told me now, so I don't need help with something I didn't know existed. No, but that's the point. The fact you didn't know it existed, I don't care. I don't care. And there's a small number of people out there who care. But if you are going onto Yelp to read reviews of an attorney, I don't want you as a client. I really don't. I don't. Because here's the thing, and I'm being deadly serious here. If you have a legal problem, you've got a problem, a legal problem, I assume that you want to find the best attorney you can for your legal problem. Okay? So you got bitten by a dog. You want to go find a good dog bite attorney. There actually are good dog bite attorneys. Let's suppose you're involved in a car accident. You want to find a good auto negligence attorney, okay? You bought a defective car. You want to find a good lemon law attorney. Now, if you think that part of your research involves finding Yelp reviews, Google reviews, or what have you, reviews of the attorney, then you're already doing it wrong. Because, and I don't know if there's any statistics on this, but I'm pretty certain that the bulk of the comments on Yelp and Google and elsewhere are driven by people who are extremely happy or extremely angry. And we all know that the people who fall in that section of extremely angry are pretty much angry all the time. They review everything badly. But also, if you look at the number of reviews for somebody, because I've actually had a friend of mine tell me he was on one of these sites and I looked and he had like 4 reviews. I go, dude, you got 4 reviews. He goes, yeah, but they're pretty good. And I said, how many clients have you had in the last 5 years? 4 of them have reviewed you. And that should be a sign. So, yeah, if you're in a city you're visiting New York, you're visiting London, you're visiting Thailand, heaven forbid, which I know is a country, but you're visiting Thailand, Ko Chang, Thailand, okay? And you want to go to a restaurant, and you go, I feel like Chinese food, whichever city you're in. And up pops a whole raft of Chinese restaurants, right? Now, I suppose at that point you can say, I'm going to check the reviews. I'm going to check the reviews. Because you got nothing else to go on, right? I mean, how else could you tell if the restaurant's any good until you actually go in and eat the food? But that's not how it is with attorneys or auto mechanics or doctors. Can you imagine? Doc, can you refer me to another surgeon? Or wait, no, I'll just go check Yelp. So there's ways to check this stuff out. And there's other things you can look at. But yeah, when it comes to restaurants or hotels, maybe you check these things. But the idea that everything is being rated on the internet, who cares? And we've all heard the stories about the Yelp reviews where somebody out there decides they don't like some particular business and they just get attacked on Yelp. Or TripAdvisor, people rating places that they've never been to. And it happens. It happens. So, as far as ratings and comments and whatever have you, I don't care. I don't care. But if I was the Sea View Resort and Spa in Koh Chang, Thailand, they should have realized that what's going to hurt their business is not the fact that TripAdvisor slapped some warning label on their TripAdvisor review. What got them the headlines was when they got a visitor arrested and thrown in jail. The guy was facing serious time in prison, in a Thailand prison, because he expressed his opinion, which he's allowed to do. But, so, the Seaview Resort and Spa in Koh Chang, Thailand, I wouldn't go there if you gave me free plane tickets and paid the whole stay. I wouldn't go there. I'd sleep in the parking lot across the street before I set foot in their property. But that's just me. The Seaview Resort and Spa in Koh Chang, Thailand. But I gotta salute TripAdvisor, because TripAdvisor did what they did to get, they did what they could to get the guy out of jail. And once he's out of jail and he's gone, then they slap the warning up and say, avoid the Seaview Resort and Spa in Koh Chang, Thailand, because they might have you locked up if you have a bad experience there, which is just bizarre. So there you go. Out of the New York Post, TripAdvisor slaps warning label on Thai hotel that had guest jailed. Questions or comments, put them below. Otherwise, talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Lehto's Law. Every minute you are angry, you lose 60 seconds of happiness.